Previously on ProtoBalls Talk.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the ProtoBalls Talk podcast. I'm ProtoMet.
This is Barry.
I'm Tank.
And I have a bandage on my arm.
It scared me, dude. The fuck did you come from?
Yeah, where did you come from? He teleported here. That's what it was.
Teleported from the future.
Makes sense?
Yeah, you're from the future. Are you here to tell us how shit this movie was?
You're a little late for that.
Yeah, I am. See, I can't help it. I got drunk.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He came from the future, got drunk, and now he's just now showing up.
He's just now showing up. Today...
That's why he went to the bar. Terminator 2. Today
we're doing Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, and holy shit, is it not good. It's not Exorcist 3 awful. I would rather...
I guess Exorcist 3 was awful?
Or, sorry, Exorcist 2. Sorry. It's not Exorcist 2 awful. Exorcist 3
I was going to say, man, I really misinterpreted your sentiment.
Exorcist 3 is a 10 out of 10 movie. Exorcist 2 is like a 1 out of 10.
So you just lied to everybody for the almost 2 hour podcast.
Oh, fuck off.
No. All right.
But no, like, Exorcist 2 is a 1 out of 10 movie. I would rather watch this movie 10 times than watch Exorcist 2 again. But that's not saying much. If Exorcist 2 is a 1 out of 10 movie, this is a 2 out of 10. It is just it is the absolute worst kind of slasher.
It is predictable.
It is
very.
It's shark jumpy.
It's boring. Fucking boring. It has maybe 2 good scenes in the entire movie.
And that's for like an hour and a half long movie?
Yeah.
Roughly? I don't even remember how long this movie was.
And they both, and like, both of them happen on the back half of this movie. There's...
Yikes.
Yeah, it's not good.
When people make fun of the Halloween series, this and the next one is the one that they tend to that and Resurrection. That's a whole other can of worms.
We'll get there in a few years.
I just have to say, I do prefer this one over the next one.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do. Like
I won't go out of the way to watch this one.
Listen. It goes from a really good high to a pretty middle. From Halloween 1 to Halloween 2 to slightly better with Halloween 3. I don't give a fuck what any people say. I like Halloween 3.
I love Halloween 3.
Halloween 3 is fun.
to a very steep decline in Halloween 4 to, oh hey, we're at ground level on Halloween 5. And then somehow we hit hell. We just take an elevator to hell with the next movie. And it's like only one movie between Halloween 1. Well, let's take out Halloween 3 because that's not a Michael Myers movies. Between all of the Michael Myers movies, between Halloween 1 and the Rob Zombie Halloween, it's one movie that is even remotely good. Like, not even like decent, but good. And that's H2O, of course.
That's like the one of the many that I haven't seen. I haven't seen anything past the 6th movie. I barely remember the 6th movie other than that it had a bunch of stuff going on that I was like, oh, okay.
We'll talk about that when we get to that.
Yeah, that'll be next year.
Yeah, next year. We can't talk about it this year no more.
Yeah.
But so yeah, this movie starts up immediately where the previous movie ended off, but not in a Halloween 2 sort of way. Just more in a, hey, this is how Michael somehow survived the events of being blown up in a mine shaft.
And it's trash.
Or a well, whatever.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, but so is this the one that got 2 versions, or no?
No, that's the next one. This is the one that's like, hey, let's do everything that the 4th did, but somehow even worse and even more boring. Last year we said Halloween 4 wasn't a good movie. It was actually kind of boring.
It had some interesting points, like the one dude that gives Loomis a ride.
Yeah.
The drunk priest man.
Yes,
The drunken priest.
it's like that one was noteworthy.
Yeah, but now we're here, and we should get the booze.
Yep, time for the booze. The booze troop. But yeah, like Halloween 4 is not good, and this is even.
No, this
worse.
is worse. 5 is worse.
Yeah, so somehow Michael Myers is just in a coma for an entire year.
He somehow manages to stumble out of the well that he fell into, because I guess there was
I think the explosion made a hole so he could fall
I
into
think
the water. Or
No,
some shit.
he crawled. He
into-
crawled out before the well is connected to a river, and he crawls into the river before.
through some cave.
Yeah,
or something.
through like a cave system. It's a groundwater cave, and that links up to a river, which is really kind of nasty.
The poo. Oh, the poo.
All the poo.
But yeah, so he manages to escape from the well before it gets dynamited.
And he's just in a coma for an entire year.
He gets recovered by some, I guess, local farmer dude who just pulls him to safety. He's in a coma for...
It's like the homeless guy never once tried, I don't know if he's like, I don't want to get kicked out of this place. It's a nice home for me, and I'm not gonna... And it's like, he could have just kicked him back into the river and, like, not done anything. And
No, he didn't know he had to give him a tattoo.
Did this guy not pay any attention to the news?
He's homeless and he had a parrot.
Yeah, it's like he's homeless and he lives just on the outskirts of town. Surely he'd have heard something.
Right.
All the gunshots, too.
Like, at the very least, a police sketch.
Yeah. Of the man.
Of the mask, yeah.
Well, I would assume that he would have at least come across somebody wearing that mask, because somebody was wearing that mask. A few people were wearing that mask in the previous movie.
Yeah, and like, this movie takes place, 11 years after Halloween 2, supposedly?
So, there's, plenty of time for this guy to have, at some point, stumbled upon the legend of Michael Myers. Maybe, I'm just being a devil's advocate here, maybe he just assumed that it was some Halloweener who got drunk and knocked out and put into a coma.
And fell into a river.
And he had nothing to do with the killings that happened the year before, that year.
Being so facetious right now. God.
But that's even that's a bit of a stretch, I will admit.
That's stretching the laws of logic.
Yeah. But ProtoMet likes to do that.
It's technically plausible, but still very dumb if that's what they were going for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the movie never actually explains that. They just Michael Myers is in a coma and somehow fully recovers from his injuries, which, doesn't terribly surprise me because...
And he immediately wakes up and kills the homeless guy, which is like, there you go.
Yep.
Hoist by your own petard. How did that ought to teach you not to help injured people and stray animals.
So apparently Jamie's been institutionalized since the events of last year.
And she's mute.
Yes, she is mute now. Not for long, but she's mute.
Yeah, she's mute, yeah, but not for long. Which, and it's like...
it's
like, okay, well, what's the fucking point? Is it that she's so traumatized she doesn't speak? Did she kill her? Did she kill her mom, stepmom?
It is implied that she did, at the very least, attack her stepmom.
Whatever.
Or foster mom. Or whatever.
Foster mom or stepmom. I don't fucking
Adoptive mother.
Who knows? But I know she's a child and she's terrified. She can stop screaming anytime. Like, the screaming bugged me for some reason.
I mean,
plus this movie just bugged me.
The whole movie sucks, dude.
Wait, she screams and is mute?
Yes.
Yeah, that's totally believable. Bearing in mind, I'm no medical student, so I don't know if mute people can scream. Maybe.
Loomis is becoming more
Loomis
of a nut job.
An asshole in this movie.
Yeah.
Like in Halloween 4, he's like, there's a danger. People have they've escaped. I'm warning you again. And then in this one, he's just like, you've got some connection to Michael Myers. I know that you're her niece. You're his niece. You've got some sort of telekinetic connection to him. I know it. Tell us what he's saying.
Then the nurse is, Mr. Loomis, please get away from her.
Dude, there are so many shots that could be taken out of context as like some pedophile movie.
Yeah.
It's like, Loomis is fucking creepy in this movie.
Also, Jamie now does have some psychic link with her uncle, which, what?
Yeah, it wasn't established in the last one.
It was by touching his possibly dead hand.
Yeah, it's just like, well, he's... Oh, yeah, and Michael Myers has a tattoo that doesn't really get fully explained until the next movie, depending on which version you're talking about.
I'm thinking the homeless guy gave him that tattoo when he was out.
Sure, let's go with that.
Unfortunately, this movie heavily hints at the events that come in the next movie.
That movie sucks.
Yeah, this is like this is the worst kind of sequel, and it's a sequel that sets up another sequel.
I will have to look to see if I have both versions of the next movie, and
who gives a fuck?
And at that point, it would be a debate of, well, do we watch just one version or both versions?
Do we want to watch either version?
That's the real...
I mean, that's the bigger question, but one that we kind of, have to answer is yes, we have to, because...
We're kind of on this quest to get through these.
But yeah, this...
What's the one with Buster Rhymes in? I can't remember.
That's Resurrection. I know because The Rock. The Rock cut a promo on WWE TV about Halloween Resurrection, and invited Busta Rhymes on TV. And it's really awkward because one of the first questions he asks is, "Hey, are you one of the? Tell me your brother lives through this movie." But we're not talking about Resurrection.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Still a few years down the road.
I don't wanna.
So yeah, Jamie is now psychic, has a psychic link with her uncle, which lets her basically have visions whenever he's ready to kill somebody.
And she almost goes into, like, seizures, or, like...
She has seizures, she almost loses the ability to breathe. Like, doctor almost gives her a tracheotomy before Loomis stops her, which is, like, the one good thing he does in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Loomis is a dick in this movie. My God.
Loomis sucks, dude.
Michael has broken him.
I mean, clearly, but come on.
To the point where he's shaking a, 7-year-old girl? I don't know.
I mean, I know that Loomis is right when he thinks that Michael is still alive, but come on, dude.
He's like...
Yeah, it's bad. The whole thing's bad. So nevertheless, Michael Myers is, of course, he's alive, and he's stalking people now out in the open, in the middle of the street, with the mask on, mind you.
Yep.
Which he technically did in the first movie.
Which he did in the... Actually, he didn't wear the mask in the first movie. We except for, like, a few scenes. But he's not, like, wearing the mask out in public.
I can actually give the first movie a pass for him being out in public and stalking people, because it was just before Halloween,
and it was
and nobody had been murdered in like how many years?
Nobody had been murdered in like 20 years,
and nobody had been murdered by a guy wearing that mask.
I'll bring it up when it happens. I'll bring my complaint up about that when it happens. But
also, the mask in this movie is still shit.
Oh, it's terrible.
It looks alienish.
It's like the worst mask in the series.
It's like, oh my God.
It's so bootleg it hurts.
Yeah.
It's like, but this is an official production. but it's bootleg.
It's a bootleg.
It's a bootleg.
It's a bootleg mask on a.
Like, I can understand them not getting the rights to William Shatner's likeness, considering it was a William Shatner mask in the original, but come on.
So then the kills begin, and it's like, even these kills are fucking boring.
Side tangent. The Ghostface mask. They always spring for the likeness of that mask in all of the Scream movies, despite the fact that it's a different killer in every one of those. Have some fucking consistency.
Right.
I can forgive Leatherface's appearance differing because he makes that from people's faces.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
So it would make sense that he would have different masks. And in different continuities, yes, the mask would look different. Friday the 13th has a consistent look for the mask across the series for the most part.
More damage.
And Freddy Krueger is Robert Englund.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except for that one time it wasn't. And nobody likes talking about that.
Yeah, because it's not a really good
No.
not a really good movie.
Nope.
Not a good movie at all, no. We're talking about the remake, right?
But then we get Halloween, one of the cornerstones of the slasher horror genre, and they can't be bothered to get a good replica of the iconic mask. Mm-hmm. And they cheap out in the worst way.
They don't even have him stick it into his, like,
and
it's just flopping out.
And these characters, all of these characters are dry as fuck. They are as milquetoast as can possibly be. There's a bootleg Henry Winkler in this movie.
Yes!
There is. Okay. The cops.
The cops.
They have a fucking theme song.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Oh, my theme song for them was Two Stupid Dumb Fucks. Yeah.
Didn't you?
Because they are massive dumb fucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the entire movie. It's like, how did you guys get to be cops? You guys are stupid.
I mean, I will admit that they are at least trying to be on top of things, which is more than can be said of any other slasher movie.
I guess. But, yeah, people fucking die in this movie. Like, slowly. Very slowly. There's
Not even... It's slowly...
There's 2 kills in the first half hour of this movie.
And then it's a slog to get to the third.
But we get there.
Eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like there's even, like, any plot going on in this movie. There's no plot whatsoever outside of, ooh, it's a dark hooded figure. He's got the same tattoo as Michael Myers wandering around. Ooh.
Yeah, speaking of the plot, maybe we should actually get back to that. Let's see. Stepsister is back from the previous movie.
Gets killed.
Apparently she has a dog. I can't remember if they had a dog in the previous movie, but Jamie loves the dog.
Yeah.
Dog gets out. You think the dog gets killed, but no, she's fine.
Yep, dog's fine.
Somebody opened up the door so Doggy could get out of the house.
The neighbor, the stepsister's friend, I can't even remember her name.
Tina.
Tina!
How can you not remember Tina when Jamie yells it so many fucking times?
When she's mute.
When she's not mute. After she stops being mute. It's like...
Well, I'll say this. This movie's forgettable.
Oh,
Very. I know Jamie has a little boyfriend.
Yeah.
Billy Hill?
Yeah, Billy.
He's definitely special needs. Or he's
but...
I mean, they're all special needs, so that's not saying...
I mean, it's a children's hospital.
Yeah.
That's just kind of...
That's just the name.
Part of the territory.
Not saying it's a bad thing, but...
No,
it's
of
just...
course not. No.
It's handled well for considering the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
There is one scene when they're having the party, though, I think is kind of cute. Before Jamie starts flipping out.
Yeah, so she starts, Jamie starts having, like, psychological connections with Michael Myers, and she messes up one of the banners because she's having a connection while Michael Myers is killing her stepsister.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, she has the fit, and then Luminous goes and calls the stepsister and is like, "Hey, Is your dog fine?
He calls Tina. He calls the stepsister, but Tina answers the phone. I think.
No. It's the stepsister answers the phone.
Right.
Goes to look for the dog. But when she can't find the dog, Loomis tells her to run and go to the nearest store. Get on the phone and call the cops. Which all turns out to be much ado about nothing because the dog's fine.
Yeah, and then she gets killed.
Then she gets killed. Also, she ran down the street in a towel. I mean,
well, when a crazy doctor man tells you to run, you run.
and given what happened last year, she's not going to question it. But.
Yeah. Yep. So then Tina comes back and she's got groceries and everything and. Doesn't find the stepsister, so she assumes that she left for vacation or whatever.
And Tina then proceeds to just completely forget that the stepsister exists for the remainder of the movie.
Yeah,
and basically takes over the stepsister role at that point. It's like they really only killed off the stepsister
to
replace her with somebody else that we had never met before. A fucking Mary Sue. She's a fucking Mary Sue.
She's a Mary Sue because spoiler alert, she doesn't get killed for the rest of the movie.
At least not that we see.
Not that we see, at least.
I mean, she has her survivable wound later on, but
her boyfriend's a total dick.
Yes.
You mean the Henry Winkler wannabe?
Yeah, the Fonzie wannabe. Yeah.
Yeah, the Fonzie douchebag.
I mean, somehow Ralph Malph survives. The character who just straight up reminds me of Ralph Malph because he's associated with the Fonzie wannabe. And God,
the blonde kid.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. No, he dies.
He survives longer.
Okay. He somehow survives longer. Okay, you got me there. Well, spoiler alert. Half the characters you see in this movie, they're gonna die unless they're under 10 years old.
Or wearing some incredibly indescribable costume that makes them look like some sort of... Makes them look like that one cat thing from the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, makes them look like a mole rat, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brian knows what I'm talking about. Shit, I can't even remember what that thing was called.
Weasel?
Maybe.
I've just got to say this. Don't watch Suicide Squad on TV. No swearing. It doesn't work.
Also, just don't watch Suicide Squad. Watch The Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Way better film.
I was about to say, that's probably...
Well, you can watch Suicide Squad or whatever, because no one will watch it.
Yeah. You'll be alone.
Yeah. And crying.
Or you'll share everybody's dislike of the film.
Yep.
Except for all the cosplayers of Harley, because apparently Suicide Squad was a major watershed for people just cosplaying that specific version of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, whatever. Fucking...
It's not even the good Harley Quinn. At least not until the Suicide Squad. I don't know if Birds of Prey was okay or not. I didn't see it. I didn't care. I don't think anybody cared.
Circling back...
Yep.
We get a scene where Ralph Malph and Ralph Malph and Fonzie steal some fucking cans of Coke.
Oh, they steal cases of booze.
Oh,
cans. It's not Coke. It's booze. They plan on getting drunk.
Regardless,
as you do.
Michael Myers. This is probably the best kill in the movie, if we're being honest.
My opinion, it is. Yeah.
It's probably the best kill in the movie. Michael Myers.
Okay, so we get 3 kills in the first half hour.
Yeah. Michael Myers walks up, scratches the dude's car,
which with
being a
little 50s punk stereotype, it's like.
Being a greaser stereotype. Yeah. He's like, hey, what'd you do to my fucking car?
This is the goddamn 80s. Why do we have a fucking 50s greaser?
The Outsiders.
Yeah, but didn't that take place in the 50s?
Exactly, but it came out in the 80s, and it was really popular, and they brought back greasers fashion. Mm-hmm. That still hasn't gone away. It's just transformed into.
Have you guys ever seen The Warriors?
No,
Yes,
I haven't.
I have seen The Warriors.
The most I've seen of the Warriors is seeing the commercial for the video game. I do know that scene.
Yeah.
I do
Which I can-
recognize that.
Which I think was ad-libbed, by the way. That scene.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. There was something I watched recently that had a reference to that. What was it?
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Definitely recommend it. Definitely recommend you check it out. Like, don't take it seriously
No, not at
because
all.
it's a really dumb 70s action movie. That sort of glorifies gang culture. It's got a fucking gang that is nothing but baseball players who have a face painted baseball.
Yeah.
Dude, the movie's fucking dumb.
I'm at least familiar with the general look of the film.
Yes.
So.
The film is 100% 70s.
Definitely.
It is such a late 70s movie.
I mean, I'd give that a watch.
It's like okay, there's two spectrums. You can have Alien, which looks like a fucking 90s movie. By the way, it's incredible how well that movie aged. And then you get The Warriors, which looks like a 70s movie on crack.
Some people might have been on crack. Well, characters.
Who knows? Nevertheless, circling back once again.
Because we have to actually talk about this movie in a podcast about talking about this movie.
Hey, we're only half an hour in. We're already almost halfway through this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Technically.
Anyway, gardening claw.
Yeah, gardening claw to the back of the face. It would have been funny. To me, it would have been funny if they did it if they had done the thing like with Blair in The Thing, where he gets dragged across the floor with. Would have been a great visual. Just like stab him in the face with the claw, take the claw and just drag him across the floor with it, and just be like, "Yep,
Or
nothing to see here." Throw him in the trunk.
Or you could do what Jason did to that one guy. He's killing me! He's killing me!
He's killing me! He's killing me! Stop him! Ah!
Fight back!
Such a God. That scene. Oh, it never fails to make me laugh.
I'm trying to remember which movie that was.
That was 4.
Okay.
Halloween 4, when the guy goes into the basement and gets ambushed because he's the brother of one of the characters who died in the second movie, I think.
Right. Yes, now I remember. Now it came back to me.
Yes.
It flooded back into me. It's like, oh yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I think we should really try to talk about this.
So anyway,
for
a good chunk of the movie now, we got Michael Myers pretending to be somebody else.
Yeah, and he's wearing a different mask too. He's pretending to be Michael. That's the guy's name.
Michael.
Oh, Michael, who's dating Tina, and they get into a car and they stop at a gas station, and then at a party,
the swarm of police comes to try to get Tina.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's outside of a store because
it's outside of a gas
convenience
station.
store because Jamie has visions, and I think by this point she's actually coming close to speaking.
What is a convenience store but a gas station without gas pumps? But I think it was a gas station, actually.
It might have been a gas station.
It was
I don't recall.
It was
all I remember was that it had a picture of a busty lady with a big cookie.
With 2 big cookies.
Lady with cookie.
Which was basically how Jamie was trying to describe the place. And I was like, oh, we know that place.
It's Cookie Lady.
Cookie lady, cookie lady.
Big lady cookie.
Yeah.
There's a big lady. Cookie.
I mean, admittedly, if there's only one place with that would be pretty recognizable.
Yep.
But.
Yep. That's how
Tina just wanted to get her smokes.
And that's how Jamie finally starts talking.
Mm-hmm.
So she has the fit during like the costume pageant Halloween night.
He got flowers by Billy, and then he got a kiss.
Funny how this character's name is Jamie, and then Jamie Lee Curtis's character in the first movie is also Jamie. Or no, it's Laurie. Never mind. I think that was definitely the reference, though. It's like, oh, this character's named Jamie because the original actress is Jamie Lee Curtis.
That makes a bit more sense. All right, so then why is Mike of character.
I don't fucking know. I think they were just like...
Like, were they trying to confuse the audience?
Yes.
Even though it wasn't that difficult to differentiate Mike from Michael?
Yeah, it wasn't that confusing. But
Michael.
nevertheless, like, they figure out the location and the cops are swarming everywhere. And then Michael and the car disappear because he drives away immediately because chances are he senses Jamie's fucking psychic attack and figuring out where he is, so he just drives away. This movie's done, and this is like the halfway part of the movie.
So then Tina gets taken to the children's hospital, and Jamie finally starts speaking properly, which it's like, okay, so what was the goal of her being mute for half the movie? I mean, other than just
have no clue.
I mean, outside of having the belabored clue to finding Tina, and her just generally not being able to say anything,
and her and her talking again,
and then her just talking again like nothing happened.
Yeah. So then Jamie sneaks out.
After Tina says, "Okay, I'll be back after the party's over."
Yeah, she just decides, it doesn't matter. Nothing dangerous is gonna happen. Definitely not on Halloween where...
But police, the two dumb cops are assigned to
watch follow.
Basically, what is it?
All right, can you just get... All right.
Dr. Loomis basically says, if anything happens to you, I'm having your ass on a silver platter, motherfuckers. You better make sure she doesn't fucking die.
All right. And
then Michael decides to attack the Halloween party. Except no, it was Ralph Malph the entire time pulling a prank on the cops.
And the cops almost shot his ass.
Which brings up the biggest fucking problem I have with these movies. Guys, you already know what Michael Myers looks like. The teenagers... Just last year, a bunch of people fucking died because of Mike Myers.
And you're gonna pull that shit again?
And you're gonna pull that... A teenager was shot to death in a park because he was dressed like Michael Myers.
To be fair, teenagers are dumb as fuck and think they know everything.
Right. But at some point, you would think the parents would be like, you're not doing that shit. I'm worried...
I have high doubts that Ralph Malph's parents signed off on this shit.
Yeah.
Well, the previous movie, that kid got shot up by a mob.
But think about it. And where's the mob in this movie?
Dead?
Yeah. Did they all just move out of town or something?
No, they all got deputized. That's why there's so many cops in this movie.
Damn, you know what? That makes sense. That's fair enough.
That's why we got stupid cops.
No wonder why we got Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Half the town are cops. And it makes sense, too, because the police station got fucking destroyed. So, of course, they'd have a bigger station and more cars and more cops in a town where one person accounts for
most of the deaths in the past 2 decades.
Yeah. Yeah, and that depends on how big Haddonfield is. It's not a big town. It's maybe...
Haddonfield, New Jersey.
It is, if I'm honest, it is probably very similar to where... I thought it was Illinois.
It is Illinois. That's my bad.
New Jersey is Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
No, it is probably very similar in size to where we live right now. It is probably a town of that size. Judging by its very rural makeup, it is definitely not a suburb.
No.
It is definitely a small Midwestern town. So I'd make it comparable to this side. So Michael Myers has been, if not directly, indirectly responsible for at least 50, 60, 70 deaths over the last 2 decades.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Not including the robot people.
Well, yeah.
Anywho.
So,
Should we do recommendations?
Yeah, I think this is a good point for the spoiler.
This is the halfway point.
Because after this, we just get to just a bunch of utter stupidity.
Mm-hmm. We get to a majority of where the film actually picks up, but like still isn't exciting.
It still drags on, but it's like, God damn it.
For fuck's sake.
Lucas told me that when you two went over to Zach's, Zach just disappeared.
Yeah, it didn't even take very long for him. I thought he was just going to the bathroom and he just never came back.
Yeah, VJ fully checked out within 20 minutes. Within 15, he fully checked out. VJ was just done.
So it was just me, Barry, and VJ's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Was watching the movie. She had the wherewithal to actually sit around and bullshit with us while we were watching.
And of course, their pupper kept us company too.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Well,
Shout out to Ash.
Ash is the best pupper dog. So, recommendations. What do you got this week?
Not horror themed, but lately I've been watching Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
Good shit.
Yeah, it's
really good shit.
Based on the movie Ghost in the Shell, which is itself based on the manga series by Shiro Masamune. And damn, is it still incredibly relevant. The premise is that it focuses on a team of public security officers for a special division Section 9, which specializes in cyber crimes and internet stuff.
Yeah.
Because this is a society where cyberization, basically having cybernetic implants for your brains, is pretty common. Rather cost restrictive, but not so much that the wider population has forgone it. A lot of people are able to connect their brains to the internet. And as a result, there are also numerous types of crime that involve cyber brains. Right. And so this group specializes in those kind of crimes, generally on the larger scale. Usually it's just the police that would deal with the smaller stuff. But we're talking international stuff that would have an impact on the country.
Yeah.
Or just really, really elusive cases. And this series consists of two types of episodes. Standalone episodes, which are by and large able to be watched and enjoyed on their own without any of the context of the rest of the series, and complex episodes which focus on a mystery involving a 6-year-old kidnapping / extortion case involving a hacker known as the Laughing Man, who basically became a Bonnie and Clyde or John Dillinger type hero.
A folk hero. He became a folk hero.
Yes, but as a criminal.
So Robin Hood, but without giving to the poor.
Right. That's why I was liking it more to John Dillinger and Bonnie and Clyde. He's definitely a criminal, but one that has inspired people.
Yeah.
And god damn it, just gets kind of crazy as the story progresses. And the whole thing kind of starts out with one police officer kind of looking into something strange that he's noticing, and it just kind of ends up reopening the whole Laughing Man case that carries on throughout the entire first season. There is a second season, a Ghost in the Shell standalone complex second gig, but I have barely watched that. I will get around to watching it because I hear it's good, but this first season is really good. And incredibly relevant in the digital age as we move towards everybody getting on the internet.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it's only 7 years off.
So what's your recommendation?
Well, I finally remember my original recommendation from
last week.
Yeah. I recommend Chucky the television series. It's actually it's quite good. Chucky is not dealing with small children anymore. He's dealing with teenagers and
adults.
For context, for anybody who hasn't heard of Chucky, this is a spin-off of the Child's Play film series. Mm-hmm. And Chucky is the titular killer doll of those movies.
Exactly.
So,
yep.
Carry on.
So there's these different, Chucky is just getting in the heads of all these young adults, and because they have overbearing parents, and like kind of almost borderline abusive parents. So he's just like telling him, just take this knife and give him a little neh.
Right.
Because Chucky has to have one of these kids to technically off somebody so his plan can come to life.
Come to fruition.
Yes. And there's a good couple scenes where the main characters are gay.
This is the same canon as the movies, correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. That's what I figured. Okay.
So
this is after Cult of Chucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have like flashbacks of Chucky as human, but as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And how he literally his first kill. I'll keep that a secret if you guys ever want to watch the series.
Yeah. I might check it out at some point.
And he gets a couple kids to kill other things, and it's just funny that one of the kids has a little sister, and she just loves Chucky, But there's a scene where Chucky and this little girl are playing like a Tekken or something, and then she goes, "You know what, kid? I'm gonna go kill your sister." It's like, killing is wrong. Well, tell your mom to go fuck off. He gets the,
Classic Brad Dourif.
Yep, it's Brad.
who's appeared earlier in this podcast is Gemini Killer.
Yeah, the one that you said was bad, apparently.
Fuck you. Fuck you, you bum.
For context, that was just a callback to when he said Halloween or Exorcist 3 rather than Exorcist 2. Exorcist 2 is terrible. Exorcist 3 is great, and Brad Dourif is a major reason why.
Yes.
He's
And
great, man.
I just recommend you guys go check the Chucky series out. They're literally season 3 is out now, so it's doing good.
Yeah, I was curious how many seasons it was up to.
So, Tanner?
My recommendation. It's gonna be a bit out there, but not Halloween related or anything. But my recommendation, I talked about this a couple weeks ago, is Chicago Fire. It's part of the.
Oh yeah, it's like different between ambulance or what was it?
It's in the Dick Wolf universe. The Dick
So
Wolf.
basically, it's sort of canon to Law and Order.
It is.
He mentioned that over.
It is
VJ's
it is
place.
100% canon to Law and Order because they've had crossover episodes. But it has its own sub-universe, and then it's also tied into another sub-universe, the FBI universe. The Dick Wolf universe is crazy. It's all the Law and Order shows, all of the Chicago shows, which is Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med.
Chicago Hope?
No, sadly not.
Oh, loophole.
And then the FBI series, which I have not seen at all. But it is Chicago Fire. It's exactly as it sounds. It's a show about the firemen of Station 51 in I think Station 51. It's either Station 51 or 61. I can't remember exactly. But in Chicago, Chicago, Illinois, the big Midwestern city.
Oh, just outside of Haddonfield.
Yeah, just outside Haddonfield. Couple miles from Haddonfield, which might be a couple miles from Springfield. And the show's insane. Like, the show's great. It's like it's half comedy, half drama. It takes itself way too seriously, and like half the characters are borderline sociopathic because they do illegal, like a bunch of illegal shit. In the first season alone, there was a character who has a drug problem, and it's like he has because he has like a neck problem or whatever. He has spinal issues, but he also like abuses drugs and shit, and like refuses to do rehab and like take drugs behind everyone's back. And one of the paramedics who lives with him, she keeps giving him drugs for it. And so like there's this whole subplot of, well, this character has a drug problem, this other character is still coping with the loss of one of his friends who dies in the first episode because of a backdraft. and then there's the paramedics who have their own fucking dealios, and then there's a character who continually gets in on like these fucking crazy schemes. Like he falls for like a pyramid scheme where he's trying to sell a bunch of like water bottles or whatever, and he's like, dude, I'm $10,000 in the hole. I don't know how to get rid of all this shit. And there's another character whose brother's in a gang, and he has to pay like $10,000 to get him out of the gang and whatnot. And it's like, what the fuck is going on with all of these characters? And there's like a rookie character whose dad was a firefighter and like died in a fire, and nobody wants to tell him what happened. Exactly, like everybody's keeping hush-hush about it because apparently it's like a personal thing. The show's
the person's dad.
Yeah. And it's like,
what did he get sucked into an alternate dimension by Cthulhu? Like, why the fuck are you not saying anything?
It apparently, like, the reason that he died is because he got careless, but it was like a personal reason having to do with the chief of Station 51 or 61, whatever. But the show is insane, because it's one of those shows where it's like, okay, this is a Dick Wolf production, so obviously it's gonna be heavy-handed with its drama. Like, oh, here's some side characters dying and whatnot, and here's some personal drama for our main characters, and it's like it takes all that shit really seriously. And there's also like another subplot in the first season about a dirty cop or whatever who's like harassing this guy because apparently his son was drunk and got into an accident, and like the dirty cop's trying to cover that up. The show is just it's all like, and that dirty cop ends up being the main character of Chicago PD. He gets his own fucking show. Because he's a dirty cop, but he gets the job done. Despite him going to prison for like a while. Yeah, Chicago Fire. Definitely watch it. You won't be disappointed. You'll just be like, what the fuck? Okay.
I don't think they have to, Tanner. I think you told them the entire plot.
That's just the first season, all right? There's more shit that happens. This show has been going on for like 11 seasons now. It's been on the air as long as MASH has, and MASH is definitely a can of worms that is really hard to get into. So the Chicago Fire, that's my recommendation this week.
Okay.
Well, I guess now we gotta talk about the movie again.
Do we have to?
Let's just leave here. See ya.
Yeah. Let's do that.
What do you guys rate this piece of shit?
We forgot to rate it.
2 out of 10.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. 2 out of 10. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've seen worse movies.
There are definitely worse movies, but this movie is the definition of a lazy sequel.
Like, I've seen worse movies that have done stuff that have absolutely made me mad at the movie.
Right.
But this movie is just so meh.
It is so boring. It's not even.
It just drags on.
It's one of those movies where it's like if this was a direct to VHS movie, I would not have been surprised. But this was a cinematic release. This is like a Disney sequel.
Oof. And not like a good Disney
and
sequel.
not like a good... we're not talking like, oh, this is Aladdin 3. You know, King of Thieves, which is a good Disney sequel. We're talking like, oh, this is like...
Bambi 2.
This is like Bambi 2 or The Lion King 2 or Tarzan 2.
Wow, just digging the hole.
I thought... And it gets worse from here!
It's not... He's not wrong. No. Oh.
So, yeah. So what would you guys rate? You'd rate it
Yeah, no, we totally agreed with you.
We agreed with
Two out
you.
of 10. 2 out of 10? Okay, cool. So getting back to the movie, we get to the party, and Michael Myers shows up, but because he's in Mike's vehicle, the cops don't even fucking suspect the thing, because
And
there's...
then Tina, Ralph Malph, and blonde chick
Yeah,
isn't the stepsister. They end up chasing a kitty into a barn. Ralph Malph and blonde chick start to get frisky.
And then they get killed.
Yeah, but not without a second Michael Myers fake out by having Ralph Malph once again pretend to be Michael Myers stalking the blonde chick. But nope, it's just Ralph Malph again. It's like, God damn it. Twice in the same movie, and it was predictable too.
Yeah.
And it was predictable too. You already pulled that shit, so we were already, aware that this movie had a propensity for fake outs. And then you try to pull that shit again, but it was like, no, we saw through this bullshit.
Yep, so Ralph Malph gets killed.
It's like we were actually kind of hoping that it was actually Mike, because the subversion of a fake out would have been great, but no.
Nope, it's a double fake out.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Then they start getting frisky, and then
It's
then
worse.
he gets stabbed by a pitchfork.
It's worse because
Yeah.
we know that Michael Myers is stalking them.
Yep, yeah, so the guy gets killed with a pitchfork, and then the girl gets killed with a scythe, which are just casually hanging around in the barn.
But the kitties live.
The kids do live, yep. Or the kittens do live, yes, that too. But they do got blood on them. And Tina comes back, and
He's like, "You want to go skinny dipping?"
so Michael Myers comes out and approaches the cops and kills the 2 cops off screen.
Because they apparently saw the first one and saw how predictable the double fake out was. So they didn't fall for the double fake out, except there wasn't a double fake out this time.
Yep. They're just straight up killed because they're incompetent. So yeah. So then the party ends. Everybody just fucking books it. I don't...
Okay, see, they're doing the complete opposite. Usually they have the party, and the cops show up, then you bolt?
Yeah.
By this point, Jamie and Billy Hill...
Billy Hill.
And Billy Hill, they run all the
not
way
Bobby
to the
Hill?
They run all the way to the fucking party from however fucking far it is.
This is a farm.
This is a farm. This is like somebody's actual home because they were raising trees. This was a pine farm. Let's put this into perspective. This was a pine farm that was open. This was an operational pine farm, and these kids just go into this guy's house and have a party at it. Unless it's one of the kids' houses. That would make more sense. That's honestly more believable now that I've talked myself into that.
Yeah, we are somehow able to come up with more convincing reasons for why stuff happens than this movie bothers to explain.
Yep.
So...
We shouldn't be the ones world-building, movie. You should be.
So, Michael could not catch up to Jamie in a fucking car?
God damn it! He chases down Tina, Jamie, and Billy in a fucking car, and Jamie, the little girl who's like 11, somehow managed to outrun a fucking car!
To be fair, it was in the woods.
To be fair.
So she had...
Fair enough, but there was also plenty of open spaces that didn't have a bunch of trees blocking the way, and he still couldn't catch up to her.
He enjoyed the thrill of the hunt.
Why?
Because it's Michael Myers. Does he need an explanation for why he does things?
He doesn't have emotions. He's literally in stalk mode 24/7.
And he doesn't have motive either.
He just killed
So
him.
then why is he dragging it out?
Maybe it's fun for him. We don't know his motives.
It just comes across
It's
as...
stupid, I know.
It's incredibly stupid.
That hurt my brain seeing that scene.
It hurt my throat. I need to get some water.
So the car crashes and like fucking explodes.
Yeah.
Because of course it would. But this is fucking 80s
Schlock.
80s schlock trope in a nutshell.
If a car doesn't explode, then why is it in the movie?
Exactly. It's Chekhov's car. If it's in a movie and it's being used by the villain, it's guaranteed to explode at some point. And if it doesn't, it's a disappointment. So yeah, and Michael Myers gets out of the car, and Jamie's just like, I'm crawling along the ground.
I could somehow outrun a car, but not Michael.
But not Michael himself. Help me, Tina, help me. And Tina gets stabbed in the shoulder, and that somehow incapacitates her.
Then Loomis.
She must be a Transformer.
I guess.
Those are shots to the shoulder are fatal to Transformers. Just watch the movie. You saw the movie.
Exactly.
But no, as far as we're aware, Tina's still alive. She's just taken out for the rest of the movie because fuck anything.
Pretty much.
So the car exploded. The mask and his jumpsuit was not charred or burnt at all.
Reasonable explanation: he flew through the windshield and got thrown clear. Dumb, yeah. Also, the police.
That's what they said in 2. I'm not going to argue with that claim, but still.
Yeah,
I don't remember 2 enough to argue that claim.
So, yeah, long story short, they all... I don't know exactly what happens with... Does Michael just walk away, or...
I think so, because the police and the paramedics show up in the middle of the woods.
Challenges him to go home. Go home.
Oh, yeah.
I will bring you the little girl.
That's right. Loomis is like, you need to go home, and I'll bring the girl. And he's like, yeah, I'm bargaining with this serial killer. This spree serial killer who doesn't have emotions, but apparently he does.
Oh, yeah, Loomis also visited the old Myers house earlier in the movie. Mm-hmm. I found like a dead rat in the laundry chute.
Yeah.
Which sets up the fact that the Myers house has a laundry chute. That's important later.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck, this movie's bad.
Yeah.
You're telling me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, they have a stakeout at the Myers house.
But then Michael starts attacking the children's hospital, which Jamie knows because psychic link. So
Billy.
So all the cops fucking. It's not half the cops leave. It's all of the cops leave.
Besides one and fucking Loomis.
And yeah, except for 2. One in the squad car and one protecting Jamie, who has a shotgun.
So one. Because you know the guy in the squad car isn't going to make it because he hasn't gotten any screen time.
Oh, hey, look at that. He doesn't make it after Loomis locks up the fucking house.
I think...
Also, at the same time, Michael ran a car into the cop car.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
But I think by this point, Michael has figured out Jamie has a psychic connection, and that's probably why he attacked the children's hospital to distract the cops, while then suddenly teleporting across town to the Myers house.
Yeah, Myers has teleportation powers now. God, fuck this
Either
movie.
that or he speeds really fast through a lot of shortcuts that bypass the cops. Because as far as I'm aware, the cops don't arrive at the children's hospital until Michael's already at the Myers house.
Yep.
Which means that despite the fact that they are the police and are sirens blaring, are still somehow slower than Michael Myers in a single car.
We were preparing to watch Hatchet, and one of the trailers had that movie Beyond the Mask or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and the actor's like, I gotta be in good shape, because they're running like hell, and I gotta fucking walk.
I think it was Behind the Mask, but I've never seen it, so I don't know for sure.
Nevertheless, Michael Myers shows up at the house. Fucking Dr. Loomis tries bargaining with him, tries reasoning with Michael, and Michael fucking knocks him unconscious, goes up, chases Jamie. The cop tries to get a ladder ready for Jamie.
But the house lady just happens to have
the house is so decrepit that he just slightly tugs on it to see if it's tight, and the
just
window
comes
thing
undone.
just snaps.
The windowsill comes off. Fucking
Yeah, and then that cop gets killed after blowing like 5 or 6 shots into Michael.
Yep. He's very strong or immortal. Who knows?
It's implied he's immortal.
Jamie goes down tries to hide in the laundry chute, but Michael.
She goes up to the attic.
Mm-hmm.
She goes up to the attic, finds the shrine that Michael Myers made.
Yep.
Of all the corpses, of all the characters who.
Even the dog.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh
Oh no! I thought he lived. No.
And
You might have. It was
and
a
this is
blink.
yeah.
You'll miss it.
This is the scene where
Maybe I wanted to forget about it.
this is the obligatory scene where Michael Myers takes off his mask because he's convinced to.
Jamie goes, Uncle.
And he,
Stays his hand for some reason.
and he takes off his masks, and she tries to touch his face, and he's like, "No, fuck you,
No.
I'm a child.
fuck you, fuck you. I've got social phobia."
Then Jamie tries hiding in the laundry chute after
And she,
running away.
yeah, and she fucking falls down it, and it's like this.
But that's only because Michael is trying to open the laundry chute.
And this is
to get to her.
this is the one good and this is the one good scene in the movie outside of the car chase, which I liked. I know you guys thought it was dumb,
It was.
but I liked
meaning
It stretched the amount. It stretched.
it. Yeah, it definitely stretched.
It strained plausibility.
Yeah, but wow, what movies? What? Yeah, oh, you're telling me that it's entirely possible for Michael Myers to stab a guy through the stomach with a shotgun?
That hurt my brain too.
If anything, that just proves my point.
Okay.
Like we have seen that Michael is clearly strong enough to stab a guy with a shotgun, but apparently he doesn't know how to work a car.
So anyways, it's the one great scene in this movie. It is the laundry chute scene, and Jamie is trying desperately to climb back up, and
Because the bottom of the laundry chute is locked from the outside, so
and Michael Myers is trying to get in it, and he decides he's just gonna stab into it. He's like, "Hey, she's in there somewhere."
The funny thing about that scene is like he notices that it's locked, and he just kind of stabs at it.
And he tries to stab it open. He's like, wiggles his knife in between the bars and everything. And he finally does. He stabs it open. Like, he rips the thing open.
I think at that point he stopped trying to open it with the knife.
Yeah.
He just tore the door
he
off.
just
Then he sticks his head up, just like,
and she finally gets up and everything.
trying to reach his arm up with the knife, trying to stab her. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
kind of reminds me.
And she finally gets up onto the first floor and everything, and that's where we find Dr. Loomis, who's finally recovered. He grabs Jamie, and then he goes, "Hey, fuckface," referring to Michael. "Hey, fuckface, you want her? Come get her." And this is like the scene where it's like, all right, Loomis has finally lost his shit. He is basically willing to give up the life of this child just to get Michael.
He ends up. Where did the steel net come from?
I completely zoned out at the end, and I don't remember what exactly caused Michael.
I do remember there was a net. It's just like
Then Loomis beat the shit out of him with a 2x4.
I guess, yeah.
Check, you dead? No? Okay.
Keep going. And eventually the cops come back or whatever. And then he's locked up and he's put in jail. And
he'll be here for the rest of his life. No, he won't.
No, he won't.
And now we have to talk about the one moment in this movie that is utterly forgettable, but keeps showing up just to set up this final scene. The mystery man with the tattoo.
Yep, same tattoo as Michael Myers. I mentioned that earlier. And he shows up in like a bunch of scenes, but like he has nothing to do with the plot. Until this
very end.
Until this very moment.
Where he basically shoots up the police station and frees Michael, much to Jamie's horror.
And it would have been a great reveal if you hadn't been calling attention to it the entire fucking time. If you had this guy as just a nondescript guy in the background, it would have worked a lot fucking better.
But no, you specifically called attention to this character who is never given any sort of relevance.
Imagine if in the scene where the cops are checking out the house at the beginning of the movie, he's just in the background. He's just a guy with a dark trench coat and shit because it's October, because it's fucking cold, and he's got a hat on and everything, and he's got a very nondescript face, or his face isn't really shown all that well. Right. Imagine if he's in the background there.
Michael Myers' face is shown more than this guy's face.
Yes, this guy's face is never shown in the movie, not until the next one. And so, nevertheless, this could have been done a lot better, but again, this is fucking sequel bait.
Obviously.
So it's lazy as fuck. There's a big shootout at the police station. Oh no, not again! Not like 1 year prior. The last thing we need is more dead cops.
I don't think that was shooting. That was just slashy slash.
and the jail cell where Michael Myers is blown up. And there's a big hole in the wall, and Jamie walks in, and she goes, "No! No!" And that's how the movie ends.
Also, I think it was implied that Loomis dies because he just collapses on Michael before Michael gets taken in.
Or he has a heart attack or something.
Yeah, he's
in the second.
He drops from exhaustion. He's just exhausted.
He's an old man.
But you could have
smelled of whiskey.
Of course, but he doesn't. Sadly. He needed another paycheck right before he died. This is his second to last movie. Think about that. Yeah.
That's a shame.
This is his second to last movie before he passes away.
We're just staring at that mug like.
Well, I'm just thinking. I want to watch Prince of Darkness again.
Yeah. This Prince of Darkness was interesting.
Yeah, it did some interesting stuff.
But that's the end of the movie, and thank God we're fucking done with this movie.
Unfortunately, we're not done with the series, because next year we gotta talk about Halloween 6.
The Curse of Michael Myers?
The Curse of Michael Myers.
And it's not even called Halloween 6, it's just called Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Yay! Fuck this series. I did not think it was actually going to... I remember liking Halloween 4 more than most people. I think I did say that. I remember liking Halloween 4 more than most people. But Halloween 5 and Halloween 6 sure as hell fucking colors that movie in hindsight. It's like, God, that movie is actually worse in hindsight now. With these two proceeding movies. Yeah.
Yep.
So, anything else? I think we gotta cover. Not really.
I was gonna say something about the 6th movie, but I'll wait until we
tell you what. What's your favorite character? Loomis? Is it just by default? Oh yeah, that's fair enough. Fair enough. No, there's no favorite character.
No, there isn't.
There isn't.
They're all bad.
They're all.
I pulled a VJ. I just got up and left.
Yeah.
I just left.
Favorite scene?
Where Jamie's in the chute.
Yeah. The sewer, the laundry chute scene. That's about it. That's like the one good scene in this entire movie.
I
think that's the one scene that's like universally liked from this movie is the chute scene. Because
it's creative.
It's creative and claustrophobic and like tense as fuck.
And if only the rest of the movie could have been anywhere near that good.
Exactly. Oh well.
Well, this one was definitely not gold.
What's your least favorite scene in the movie? The car chase?
The car chase, because that caused my suspension of disbelief to come crumbling down.
Oh, like this had any suspension of disbelief.
Well, I wouldn't probably say that.
What little suspension of disbelief there was.
It's either the car chase scene or the double fake out.
Okay.
Alright, the double fake out was like... I still at least liked this car scene.
Yeah, see? Yeah, I like the car scene too.
But
You can enjoy it for how ridiculous it is.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
but it's not unrealistic,
It's not a realistic.
Jamie would have been dead if he put it to the floor.
Right.
Well, it wasn't a grass field too, so that sort of fucks things up.
And it's not like it was even Michael's car. Why would he give a shit about blowing out the transmission or something?
Yeah, that's true. That's true, I guess.
I have a recommendation for a future podcast.
Oh, but you're gonna have to wait.
Well, no.
No, he's just saying, gonna
Oh.
give us a suggestion for something to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, yeah, we could do The Hills Have Eyes, but then we gotta do Hills Have Eyes 2 and that.
No, we don't.
Oh, okay, maybe not. But if we're, are we just gonna do Wes Craven's entire work? Because I guess we're just gonna have to do Last House on the Left too, and I'm not really comfortable with that.
He actually did the sequel?
Mm,
I know he did the original, but this...
No, he didn't do the remake. He didn't do the remake.
No. You said 2. Oh,
The
you
Hill-
meant 2 as in also.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
also-
okay.
we also have to do.
I thought that you had knowledge about some sequel.
No.
Yeah, Last House on the Left is uncomfortable.
The Last House on the Left is the kind of movie you only watch once, and then you take a really cold shower afterwards.
So, don't watch the movie. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't.
It's really uncomfortable. And like that Wes Craven, like, God, he's such a horror master, but what the fuck, dude? It is not horrifying like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is a scary film. Very bloodless, but very scary. Very well done. Or like Nightmare on Elm Street 1, which is still a really good film.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Hills Have Eyes, or Last House on the Left, not Hills Have Eyes. Last House on the Left is just like, this is horrifying, and I'm very uncomfortable, and you can tell that like behind the acting, that the
actors are uncomfortable
the actors are also uncomfortable with all of this. This is just an uncomfortable film. But that's a better film than this.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, considering that, people still talk about it.
Yeah. And it's got really infamous scenes, too.
Yep, and we will not talk about that.
We'll not talk about that, though. So, with that said, I guess it's the end of another podcast, I suppose, huh?
Have a happier Halloween than we did.
Yeah.
I'll certainly try to.
I'm going to start drinking now.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.